Hello all my dear student friends. Welcome to this session. We are studying the subject power engineering and refrigeration. Air compressors is the topic being discussed, and right now we are going to discuss the centrifugal compressor. So centrifugal compressor is one of the rotary compressors. It is a non-positive displacement type rotary compressor. It is also called as the dynamic compressor or the rotodynamic compressor. So the centrifugal compressor is a non-positive displacement type compressor. It means that in this compressor the kinetic energy of the air is converted into pressure energy. So the fluid which is entering inside this compressor, so right now let us say that air is our working fluid. So when this air enters in this centrifugal compressor, first of all the kinetic energy of the air is increased, and then the kinetic energy of the air is converted into pressure energy. So as we have seen that in case of the non-positive displacement type compressors like the centrifugal compressor, the working principle lies in converting the kinetic energy of the air into pressure energy. But for this purpose, first of all, the kinetic energy of the air should be increased. So this is done by the rotor of the compressor, which consists of the impeller and the diffuser. So the rotor of the centrifugal compressor will impart its energy, the kinetic energy, to the air, and thus the kinetic energy of the air will be increased first of all, and then this kinetic energy of the air is converted into pressure energy. So this centrifugal compressor will produce high pressure discharge by converting angular momentum imparted by the rotating impeller to the air. In order to do this efficiently, the centrifugal compressor rotates at higher speed, say something like more than 5000 rpm, and the kinetic energy is first of all imparted to the air. So later on this kinetic energy is converted into pressure energy. So first of all the angular momentum which is possessed by the rotor or the rotating impeller will be imparted to the air, so that the kinetic energy of the air will be increased, and then this kinetic energy of the air is converted into pressure energy in this centrifugal compressor. So the working of the centrifugal compressor depends upon the transfer of energy from a rotating impeller to the air, and in case of the centrifugal compressor the pressure ratio cannot be very high. It is something like 1.1 to 2.4, but the capacity of the centrifugal compressor to deliver the air is large as 500 to 50,000 cubic meter per hour. The centrifugal compressor is used when large flow rate and small pressure ratio is required. Thus we can use the centrifugal compressor in those applications where large flow rate is required, but we can adjust with the small pressure ratio. And the example of the applications of the centrifugal compressor include the gas turbines, the automobile turbochargers and the superchargers. This centrifugal compressor is also used in the oil refineries and for the natural gas processing. So this is a particular picture of a centrifugal compressor. Actually it is the sectional view of a commercial single stage centrifugal compressor, but it is a 3D view, and this a section is taken here so that we can see the interiors also of this particular centrifugal compressor. Later on we are going to study the figure. This figure we are going to study later on, but in order to get the idea we must first of all see the picture. So you can see in this picture that this is the casing, right, and you can see that this is the inlet for the air to the casing at the center along the axis, and this is the discharge outlet. So this discharge outlet is tangential to this particular casing, which is having a volute shape, and inside this casing we are having a shaft, and this is nothing but a impeller as well as the diffuser. So we are having the discs, the impeller discs, which are surrounded by the diffuser ring. So the impeller disc is surrounded by the diffuser ring. We can have a number of impeller discs mounted along the axis of this particular shaft. So these discs are circular, and this disc, impeller disc, will rotate, and due to that the kinetic energy is imparted to the air. So we are having one more picture, or this figure. So you can compare this figure with this picture, and if you look in this direction, the centrifugal compressor will be seen like this. If you look in this direction, then the centrifugal compressor will be seen like this. So one is the front view, other is the side view. So this is the drive shaft. Here the drive shaft is shown by this circle, right, and here you can see these are the various parts of this particular centrifugal compressor. In the next slide we are going to study this in detail. So let us go to the next slide, and before that you should observe this particular picture so that you can understand better the shape of the centrifugal compressor. So first of all, let us try to understand the construction of the centrifugal compressor. So here at the center you can see the shaft, and this is the impeller eye. The air is entering from this particular impeller eye, and this is the casing, the volute casing. So the total overall casing of the centrifugal compressor can be divided into three parts. First of all, the inlet part of the casing, then the volute part of the casing, and then this discharge part of the casing, right. So the on the shaft you will find that the impeller discs are mounted. So this is nothing but the impeller disc. So the impeller disc consists of a number of vanes. A number of vanes are mounted on the impeller discs. So this is the shape of the impeller disc. Actually the impeller disc consists of the two discs. One is the hub disc, this one is the hub disc, and this one is the cover disc or cover plate, right. So on this particular hub disc you can see several vanes, or these blades, or these plates, rectangular shape vanes or plates, right. So they are mounted radially, not exactly along the radius, but somewhat they are mounted radially in a particular order, in a particular shape, particular direction, so that the air will move in a particular way, so that the kinetic energy of this particular impeller will be imparted to the air. So this is nothing but the impeller. The impeller consists of this hub disc on which the vanes are mounted. The vanes are made up of stainless steel to avoid the corrosion, and we are having a cover disc also. So this cover disc will also cover the vanes, and these two discs come together, and thus we get the one impeller, and likewise several impellers can be mounted on this particular shaft. So this is nothing but the impeller of the centrifugal compressor. Now the impeller is surrounded by the diffuser ring. So this is the diffuser ring. So the diffuser ring also consists of the vanes. These are the vanes or the plates, and the diffuser ring surrounds the impeller ring. And again now we are having thus this particular casing. that is nothing but the volute casing. So the air enters from the center in the axial direction, and here the compressed air leaves the centrifugal compressor, say in the tangential direction. So this is the inlet, and this is the outlet of the air. Before compression, the air enters here and it leaves like this. So this is nothing but the construction of the centrifugal compressor. Now we are going to study the working of the centrifugal compressor. What exactly happens in the centrifugal compressor? So first of all, the air will enter inside the centrifugal compressor through this impeller eye, that is at the center along the axis. Near the axis, you will find that the air is entering inside the centrifugal compressor. So that is the inlet part of the casing, and here the kinetic energy of the air is increased so that the air can move at a faster rate inside the centrifugal compressor. Now as the air enters inside the centrifugal compressor, it comes in contact with the impeller, especially the vanes of the impeller. So these vanes of the impeller, which are rotating along with the impeller disc, they will impart the kinetic energy to the air. So the kinetic energy of the air is increased, and up to some extent the pressure of the air is also increased inside this particular impeller. So energy transfer from the impeller to the air is taking place inside the impeller, right? Now due to centrifugal force, the air will move in the outward direction away from the center. So from the impeller, the air will move to the diffuser. This is the diffuser ring, right? So in the diffuser, what happens is that the kinetic energy of the air is further converted into pressure energy. So in the diffuser, the kinetic energy of the air is not increased, but the air is already having some energy. It is having the kinetic energy as well as some pressure energy also. So energy is not imparted to the air in the diffuser, but whatever energy the air is having, especially the kinetic energy, whatever kinetic energy the air is having, that is converted into pressure energy inside this particular diffuser ring. And after that, due to centrifugal force, again the air will move outwards, and from the diffuser ring the air will move to this portion, that is towards the casing, volute casing, away outward direction, in between the space of the volute casing and this particular impeller diffuser. So in this space, due to the volute shape, what is happening is that there is further conversion of kinetic energy into pressure energy, and further increase in the pressure takes place in this particular volute casing, and this high pressure air is discharged through this particular outlet of the centrifugal compressor. So let us revise the construction of the centrifugal compressor. This is nothing but the impeller of the centrifugal compressor. This is the diffuser of the centrifugal compressor. So impeller wheel consists of two discs. One is the hub disc and other is the cover disc, and there are a number of radial blades between these two particular discs. Actually these blades are mounted on the hub disc, and the cover disc will cover that particular vanes. The material of the blades is stainless steel, so as to avoid the corrosion of the blades, and the diffuser ring is provided with diffuser vanes which surround the impeller. So these are the diffuser vanes, and these diffuser vanes surround the impeller, or you can say that the diffuser ring consisting of the diffuser vanes surround the impeller. The volute casing also provides diffuser passage for further built up of pressure. So the pressure is further built up in this particular volute casing, and the air is moving from the center to the outward direction, and finally it goes to the outlet, and it is moving out of the centrifugal compressor. It enters from the center, and due to centrifugal force it is moving away from the center, and it reaches the volute casing, and from the volute casing it is just moving out of the centrifugal compressor from this particular outlet port. So this is the construction of the centrifugal compressor. We are going to revise the working of the centrifugal compressor. So the atmospheric air is sucked at the center of the impeller eye. So here, from here, the atmospheric air is sucked, as the impeller rotates at high speed, air is accelerated to very high velocity radially away from the center. So due to the rotation, high speed rotation of the impeller, the air is moving in the outward direction. Kinetic energy is imparted to the air and the air is moving in the outward direction, and from the impeller it goes to the diffuser. So diffuser vanes will convert the kinetic energy of the air into pressure energy. The volute casing also provides a diffuser passage for further built up of pressure. So what are the advantages of the centrifugal compressor? The volume is large. That means the large volumes can be handled. So large discharge volumes can be handled by the centrifugal compressor. The speed is very high, so the balancing problem is reduced, and the centrifugal compressor can be directly coupled to the prime mover. So there is no need of balancing, because there are only moving parts, and you will find that the centrifugal compressor is already balanced, and the vibrations are minimum, and the noise is also very less. So the centrifugal compressor is vibration and noise free device. Number of moving parts are less. Example, shaft and bearing, these are the moving parts. That is, the relative motion is very less, so there is very less, you can say, wear and tear, very less friction, and maintenance is also very less in case of the centrifugal compressor. The efficiency of the centrifugal compressor is high, though the pressure ratio, the discharge pressure is low, the pressure ratio is low, but the efficiency of the centrifugal compressor is high, and its part load efficiency is also good. The centrifugal compressor can be directly coupled to the prime mover since the speed of rotation is high. And the disadvantages of the centrifugal compressor: first of all, surging may cause sometimes in the centrifugal compressor. So due to surging, what is happening is that sometimes the back pressure is developed, the air inside the compressor will not get compressed, and the compressor working will not be proper due to surging operation. The pressure built up will not be sufficient, and sometimes there will be no built up in the pressure, and sometimes the backflow or the back pressure may also occur due to the surging in case of the centrifugal compressor. The pressure ratio obtained in case of centrifugal compressor is small, and multi-staging is difficult in case of the centrifugal compressor. So though we try to increase the pressure ratio by multi-staging, but multi-staging itself is difficult in the centrifugal compressor. Therefore centrifugal compressors are used mainly in case of those applications where the discharge pressure required is low or the pressure ratio required is low. Now with the help of this particular graph, we can see the variation of the pressure and velocity in the impeller and the diffuser. So what happens to the pressure of the air and to the velocity of the air inside the impeller and the diffuser? So this is the clearance, that is the space between the impeller and the diffuser. So first of all, let us consider the pressure. So you can very easily see that the pressure increases inside the impeller. Inside the impeller, pressure increases. In the clearance space there is no change in the pressure, and inside the diffuser there is further increase in the pressure. So pressure increases both in the impeller as well as in the diffuser. Now what about the velocity? There is a small increase of velocity in the impeller. There is an increase of velocity in the impeller. The velocity increases in the impeller. So in the impeller, velocity as well as pressure increases because the energy transfer takes place from the impeller to the air which is being compressed. And what happens in the diffuser is that the kinetic energy is converted into pressure energy. Therefore pressure increases but the kinetic energy decreases. That means the velocity decreases. The velocity of the air decreases inside the diffuser, but what is our target is to increase the pressure. So the pressure is increased further in the diffuser. So that is about the variation of the pressure and velocity in the centrifugal compressor inside the impeller and the diffuser. So inside the volute casing also there is increase in the pressure and small decrease in the velocity. So this was all about the centrifugal compressors. So thank you, my dear friends.